No, it's true. I get really excited when I go to different places and countries like you did. You know, you've come to the UK, you see what the Volkswagen guys do, and there's some incredible talents, and we love it too. And that's one thing we love when we dive into different cultures. We do it because we love everything. We don't just stay into one lane and this is what we'd like to do, because we've seen talent and we've blown the hell away. England as a country, I feel that it's not just with cars, but it's also with food and fashion. We're very adaptable at taking inspiration from different countries and then making it into our own sort of style. So when you come to the UK, if you know where to go, the shows and the people, it's like insane what you can find. Really is, because you've got so many different styles from different countries. And then you go to the US, and you know, for us, the US is probably the pinnacle for car culture for us. Probably Japan then second, and it's just amazing. Where I think, gosh, if only they could see what we do, and someone could embrace that over in your country and vice versa. And we do find some people who do that, not many, but if more were willing to do so, I think there'd be just even more incredible stuff that'd be like evolving the scene over in each other's country, basically.
Well, that's where I feel like you and Carmen are filling that gap. You know what I mean? Which is, to me, is awesome. To where you guys, it's like you guys are indiscriminate to what you know. If it's cool, it's cool. It doesn't matter if it's East Coast, West Coast, European, or whatever it is. You don't give a crap. You can see that cool, and that's why I like following you around at the show, because things that would catch my eye, like you would pass by, and then you would zone in on something else, and then I would see just way different stuff than I've ever seen before.
Interesting. That's interesting, because I never had that said to us before, because we just go there and just naturally do, just like yourselves. You know what you're doing, and you don't really think from an outsider point of view, oh, that's why you did it that way, or that's why you're choosing that car. Yeah, no, it's interesting you say that, because I don't know, there's just a natural instinct that one has, I think, in anything in life, where for us, we'll go to a show and there's just something about the way the car makes us feel, the way it's been put together, the way everything flows, that we instantly just get gravitated to it. And we just know from that look that there's something special about the person who's built it. And we've always had that ethos that we'd always show only the best. But in terms of creativity, there's some stuff that may not have been built 100% perfect, but that's because the style, like a rat rod, for example, mechanically works well, it's been put together well, but it doesn't have the aesthetic of like a show car, but we'll still show that because we can look at it and go, when you really look at that, that's ingenious what they've done. Because a lot of people are just like, rat rods, what the hell is that about? They just don't get it. I do. Carmen gets it. We get the rat rod scene. And we just want to show that, because I think because like everyone can customize and everyone has a specific style, and there's a lot of things that we would just not touch, even though it's quite creative. It's just unfortunately not judging that person, but there's just the way they put it together, it just doesn't match. You know, the wheels could be wrong, the color could be too wrong, the interior. But for us, we like, if we want to innovate and show people the way it should be done, and a way that maybe some people could go, rat rods was not my thing, but you just show me that, and I've just been blown the fuck away, then to us, that's really good, because then it's opened up that person's mind to seeing something different about a culture they probably judged in a way that, well, I don't understand it. And then we show this one to go, oh shit, I get this shit now. And it's been done in such a tasteful way that people just get blown away. And by us doing that, we've started to almost gather a community that just gravitate to our page now on social media, because they see an essence that we show different to the other pages. Because everyone else does some good stuff out there. There's a lot of cool pages for cars, but they come to us for project build ideas, number one. And we can show things from like a steampunk steam engine from back in the early 1900s to a Model T, to something that you've built, to a lowrider, to a hot rod, to a Mark 1 Golf, for example, like you saw the Ultimate Dub show. And they love that diversity.
Well, I think you guys are the example for where the new car guy needs to be. Because when the import world came around in 2000, I felt like there was such a rift that happened in the automotive community, to where the V8 guys had like teamed up against all the import guys.
Yeah, I remember
you know what I mean? And it was this big giant rip down the middle, and then the diesel guys took off on their realm, and then the rat rodders were like, I don't care about the argument, I'm going to do my own thing. And it was kind of a big tear in the industry, to where people like really segmented themselves. And that's when all those magazines just started coming out of everywhere. Like you had import mags, and this Rat Rod mag and this magazine and this magazine. You had like 500 magazines now, and it's like where we used to just have the core like 25.
Yeah.
You know, and
No, that's,
that was that rip in the industry that caused that.
you know, it's interesting you say that. I never really saw it that way. I can clearly see that it's so true because they're thinking, well, if there's now a community that's separated from everyone else, then we can cater for that community. And I thought, I never really thought that way because from the beginning, my thing about Superfly was always to be about what we love because we grew up in this industry. We were building cars since I could drive. I was cruising. I was going to car shows all the time in the UK and Europe before then being able to travel to the US and that. And I always thought to myself, well, I love every type of vehicle as long as it's been done well and it's the wildest kind of design, build, power you can have and something so you wouldn't think of. I'm interested in that stuff. I love that. And I was like, well, when I left working for the magazines and we started photographing car show the magazines for 7 years, Colin and I, we would have the eye for it. And people were saying, well, we trust you because you've got the languages, you can speak French and German, you can travel around Europe and get cars for us. But you also have the insight because you've been in the industry for years, and you also seem to have an eye to find these really incredible vehicles. And for me, I thought, well, if then we are going to build our own magazine, which we did eventually when we decided to go all in, and people said you should do that. I said to Carmen, I never wanted to be that you should go into just one area of the culture and just segment yourself in that area. Because to me, that's boring. I just can't not, I get tired and bored of just seeing just one type of brand of vehicle all the time. I love what everyone does in terms of hot rods, Volkswagens, Fords, Chevy, whatever. But I like spice of life and variety. And I'm sure I'm not the only one, that Carmen isn't the only one, that if we do it, that eventually we'll start to build a community that's based on connecting together, because that was the ethos. Like you said, everyone segmented each other, started racing against each other. I mean, if it's friendly competition, fine, but if it gets a bit, I'm the purist and I'm this and you're that, it's just ridiculous. So we thought if we can show a variety that's so out there, that maybe even people could go around and go, I don't like Porsches, but you've just showed that to me. And now I'm a Porsche fan, which has happened many times. Then we're winning something far bigger than just, hey, we're just another media company showing cars. And the other thing for us was also about meeting these people. Most magazines work on a basis of you're the editor, tends to stay behind the scenes, and then it's writer chaps, and then they're hiring photographers. Love the industry, was in it for a long time, and I thought that was cool. But then I thought most of these guys are just doing it for the job. I came into this like I love this shit. This is my passion. And when I left, I saw people saying, "Oh, photographers don't care. They take really shitty pictures. They just do it for a paycheck." Writers that just then left and they weren't really passionate about the industry. And I'm like, I don't care. I love this. This is my life. And I knew, like you, with the calling of someone saying, hey, you got to say to these guys, you're going to SEMA. I already knew this was going to be my calling for the rest of my life. I just didn't know how it was going to happen, how I was going to make money from this. I just knew I had to do it somehow. And we've gone through so many ups and downs because we were going so broad to capture every one of these people and these cultures, like you said, we've segmented to bring them into one. And I saw so many other media companies like Speed Hunters and the likes of Stance Nation just blow up faster than we ever did because they went just for one direct niche. And I get that in business. Yeah, go for a niche and then blow up. But for me, I was looking long term. I wasn't looking for that direct instant. This is the trend right now. I couldn't give a shit about that. I give a shit about longevity and be able to build a community where everyone has mutual respect for everything they do and to hopefully create something bigger that lasts a long time, not just, hey, this is Stance now, which is, it's been going for 10 years, but people now are getting a bit sick and tired of it, Right now, we don't have that issue. We've got like people coming to our page now and like, this is when I go for my consuming content on cars because I can see so much variety. It gives me an open mind to something different.
Well, that's the best part of it all is that you guys are, it's like the modern car guy just shouldn't care, and just be able to acknowledge that, hey, this can be cool, this can be cool, this can be cool. It all depends on, like you don't have to love it. You just got to understand somebody else has the same passion, or a different passion, and it's just accepting each other. And I've seen a lot more of that lately. Because there was so many car shows here in the U.S. that were like, 72 and down, because they were just trying to keep out all the imports. And to me, like you're killing half your audience.
100%.
Let them come. Let people look at what they want to look at. Just create them their own class.
And I agree. That is the best way to do it, because otherwise you're discriminating. And I get that there's certain type of vehicles you may not want to the show because you've got a quality to bring to the show, and I understand that. We're no different. We want a quality. We won't have everything on our page, but it has to be something that's impactful, make people think. It'll be creative, and it'll give people an idea to do something amazing. So what you're saying is right, and I applaud shows that do that, where they mix more people. And I get that there's going to be shows where you maybe want to have just Volkswagens or just the imports. That's fine, but to then discriminate and say they're not allowed in, that's small-mindedness. And I've seen car shows go down and never be opened again because of they thought that way. And I saw that for so long, and I was like, there's no way we're going to be like that, because we embrace everybody, and that's exactly what we're going to do with our brand. And if it takes us a while to get there, don't care. And now I think for the last year, we started to see that that whole thinking that we've had is now working, even though it's taken us a lot longer to do so. It's a beautiful thing to see, because I
It's
wouldn't
all
be
that
having
time investment paying off.
it is, and it's the I wouldn't have a conversation with you right now today if I was anti rat rods, for example, or custom vehicles. I'm speaking to so many different people like yourselves from completely different backgrounds in the car industry, from lowriders in Compton. Most people wouldn't even go to dare to go down there, but Car and I, we don't care. Yes, it might not be some of the safest places in the USA, but we keep it the right people, and we just open-minded, and they embraced us, even though we don't have that culture. But because they saw that we love their culture, embraced it, they're like, man, you guys are cool. You're actually showing the rest of the world. It's not all about the Dr. Dre videos and the gang culture that some of this thing is associated with. And we're like, no, we're not here to show that. We just know there's amazing people. And look at the vehicles, you guys. And we just want to talk about that. And then they're like, that's so dope. And then because of this, they're saying, right, next time we come to the US, we've got like 20 lowriders. We're going to hook you up. We're going to do loads of cool with you guys. And to me, that's amazing. And if by us doing that, it then shows other people, man, if these guys can hang out there, then they're cool people to hang out with. There shouldn't be this bridge of, oh, they look strange because they've got those tattoos and things like that. And it's not just about the car. It's about showing that there's humans out there doing stuff that's cool. Don't discriminate because it may look different. Embrace the fact it looks fucking amazing, even though it's not what you would do. And guess what? You might actually make a friend, which we have. We've always adapted that. We've made amazing friends like yourself. So